Hello, hello, hello. No, your mic is off.
Look, I can see comments.
Yay! Hello, Antone.
What'd you do? Change your name or change your profile, bub?
Yeah, he did change his name on there. Well, hold on. Let's see where he's at. Okay, he's on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm trying to share this out because for whatever reason my phone will not allow me to share out anymore.
Let's see.
Uh,
Yeah, there we go. It shows.
yeah, now I have to do this on the computer, and it will only let me do it one at a time.
Hi, Robert.
Yeah, so we can see everybody now, and we can see all your names. No more of this Facebook user crap.
Yeah, that was really annoying.
Yes, it was.
Let's see.
So bear with us, folks. We're trying to get this thing going. It's share the show out if you would, please. Um, really weird. On my phone, I can't comment.
Oh,
I don't know why that is. It says on here, be the first to comment, but there's no option to comment anything. These these updates that Facebook is doing on everything is just really annoying.
let's see.
Yeah, go ahead and share it out, Ed, please. Thank you.
Hey, Ed, Roger, Jill, Robert. All right. We got most of our normal crew,
Yeah, and let's
except. Oh, Tom. Hey.
and we got now I can see where everybody is viewing from.
I
So
can't
that
see that, but that's all right.
it's yeah, it's only a thing that the host
As
is.
long as I can see them.
Yeah. But as long as all the comments are coming in, that's a good thing. All right, folks. So we are. Let's see. Were we on EV Mux last week? I don't even remember.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so we are testing. We are doing this on EV. That's right. We were on one stream because I switched over on Saturday. So we are now on EV Mux, which is so much better, so much easier. We can see all the comments. We are streaming to 9 different locations. Um, Guests can see comments. Yeah, it's a whole lot easier now.
Yes.
So tonight on Supernatural Talk, you are stuck with just me and her tonight. So let's have a party.
Yeah, we got Jan was supposed to be on tonight, but she had some emergencies happen. Her water line broke. So and then if Eileen, she had to work late. Nothing new.
And Nick is still resting and recovering as ordered.
Yeah, he should be back next week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks? I thought it was next week.
Next week is Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right. Not for me, so I completely forgot about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So next week we will not be on. It'll be Turkey Day, and Dad, Angelia, and I will be eating enchiladas.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh, it is good. Um, I make up two batches. I make up a really hot and spicy batch for me and Dad, and then I make up a normal one for her because I don't want to set her little tummy on fire.
No, no, and I think that's what happened to me why I was so sick yesterday or last night. We got chicken nuggets, and mind you, these are from Walmart. I didn't think anything about them. I got regular chicken nuggets and I got spicy chicken nuggets. No, these are not spicy. I'm from New Mexico. No, I know spicy. I like spicy. I love Mexican food. This was so bad that you couldn't eat one chicken nugget. And I'm like, they should put a warning on this because this is ridiculous. I ate like 6 of them over about an hour period. And I had wished I didn't about midnight.
Oh yeah, I eat a full plate of those spicy chicken nuggets. I love that stuff.
This was an off brand. And I like the spicy chicken nuggets from like Wendy's, all that. I love those. This, I don't know. This was bad. This was really bad.
Something altogether different, huh?
Yeah. And
It almost sounds like a ghost pepper if you were only able to eat about 6 of them in an hour.
yeah, it was that hot. And I'm like, no, this. And Zach ate the one. He said, I can't believe you can't eat it. And I left one on the plate. And he tried it and he's like, mm-mm. He said, no, this is not good. I was like, I know. I don't know what's going on.
Let's see here. See if I can change our name banners. Uh,
One of these shows, we won't have to play with this. We'll have it all set.
yeah, yeah. Still, still getting used to all of this. So there's a lot to talk about tonight. First of all, Nick is doing well. I'm actually kind of surprised he's not in the comments, but Nick is doing well. He's happy to be home. He did say that he is going to be resting for the next week, which I had hoped would be no shows for a week. Turns out that's what he was planning on doing. Because with these headaches that he was getting, looking at a computer screen is not good for you.
No.
Uh, they still had not determined the cause of his brain bleeds, but yet somehow they were able to rule everything out.
I'm still going with the medication because it said that, that medication was, it can cause that in just like a small percentage of people. And he might have been that small percentage.
And 2 years ago when he came down here for Unity, he was getting one of those bad migraines and went to his dad's car and took a nap. I told him then he needs to go to the doctor, talk to him about his medication, see if maybe this is not the right one. I don't I know for the next 6 months or so after that he didn't. but I don't know if he ever did or not.
Yeah. Thank you, Ed.
Okay.
He's
Oh,
so awesome about coming in and sharing out.
holy cow! 42 shared. Shit.
That's Ed. I mean, he does that on Jan and I's show too. I mean, it's awesome.
When I share these shows out, there's like 20 of them I send to, but 42. Damn, that is awesome. Thank you, Ed.
Yes, yes, it is. Um, so just on a side note, I know all the people here were able to. They were here the last time I discussed this. So the little issue we had with one of our paranormal, not one of ours, paranormal team. Hi, Jenna. How are you?
Came from the PDX channel.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Uh,
let's see. Where did you come from?
so
Facebook. Okay.
the yeah, it's one of the places he shared it out.
Hey,
Uh,
Chuck.
so where they were threatening people and doing different things, I did get a copy of the police report. It is real. It's not a joke. And so yesterday, this same person did a live stream and put under it, like we have our names, he put under it um, cult leader and uh, murder, murder something. Um, yeah. So
That's not good.
I, I don't know. I usually don't say anything, but I have dug into this and I have dug into this deep. Getting the police reports, trying to help. The bad part is it happened a year ago, and the person just now got the messages that were sent about her.
Oh, wow.
And so, of course, that made it a little harder. Now, I did look it up, and statute of limitations on Joanne, um, statute of limitations on a death threat is 3 years.
Okay.
Most states, 2 on some. She's safe either way. But there's also a little clause in there that says, usually after a couple of weeks, they won't mess with it. So we turned it into Facebook. Facebook wants to go back 20 years, on our stuff and mute videos. All right. So how about let's go back with this?
Sometimes I wonder if Facebook actually does a better job than some police stations.
Oh, they do. They absolutely do, because the police decided, they didn't hardly even look at her case. This person is threatening to kill her, had the guns, threatening to decapitate her dog, showed pictures of the guns, said he's on his way. And since she didn't know any of this, she ended up attending the Paracon that he was at.
Yeah.
And they came after her and she didn't even know it. Yeah, that's pretty darn scary.
Yeah, it would be scary. And it'd be enough to drive somebody away from doing anything ever again, which I can't say I blame her.
And
Uh,
I'm hoping it does not. She's fighting.
Ed, I remember seeing something about paranormal outlaws. I don't remember if it was Saturday night or what, but I remember that phrase.
I don't know if that was anything to do with that. They did make a page, and a bunch of people came forward that had the same thing happen to them. So this isn't an isolated incident, and why people will not speak up. I understand why they're scared. I do. I understand why they're scared. They believe that this person can do something to them. And I'm sure they could. If they're willing to drive that far, I'm sure they could. But you know what? Let's grow a set. All of us get together, and we don't allow this. They want to have their own, yeah, they can have their own. We'll grow a set because I promise you, they come to my door, they will not have a set.
Mhm.
No questions asked.
That's the truth.
I mean, there's the threats, there's the trail, and they came to my door. They no longer have. I will not put them out of their misery, but they will not go out the same way they came in. It just won't happen.
One time I spoke up about something that happened to me a couple years prior to me speaking up, and I actually got threatened.
Mm-hmm.
And people want to come after you. Don't say this stuff if you don't have proof.
Right.
Really? And this is somebody that was actually on a receiving end of the person I was speaking up about.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's like you see a man and woman in a parking lot fighting. You go to help the woman. The woman hits you.
Mhm.
I've seen it happen. I'm like,
Yep.
that's why people don't get involved. And for this young lady, I got involved. And I will continue to be involved until this person leaves everyone alone or this person is no longer in the field, which I don't see that happening because unfortunately he has some big names with him. And I'm really ashamed of those people because I thought they knew better.
Yeah, unless they're not even aware of it.
Possible because a lot of this happened in a chat, but this isn't the first time. It's hard to believe they wouldn't be aware.
Well, some of the people that I know that are involved, if they were aware of this, they definitely wouldn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of very stand-up people out there, and even they can be taken for a ride. Every one of us have been taken for a ride at one time or another.
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
And speaking of which, so this was 2 days ago. Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago. Somebody decided to duplicate the Things Network page and called it the Things New Work page.
Yeah, it was TH1 NGS.
So,
Hi, Carl.
hello. And the only reason I was even made aware of this is because whoever runs this page followed me. I'm thinking, okay, so whoever was running this page must be stupid. So I shared this thing out to a few people. Um, and then I went to this page and checked to see who is following. And it's following several people that I'm friends with. Uh, Ed being one of them. I messaged him, hey, you just got followed by this page, and this page is in no way affiliated with me or my crew. Nobody approved of this page. So he shared this out for people to also report. Carl reported it. Jenny reported it. Mary reported it. I know a lot of people. And next thing I know, the page is gone, unless I got blocked. I even sent a private message to this person. Hey, you are. I don't know who you are, where you're from, but you are infringing on my name and my logo. You're infringing on my property. This person has seen it. I saw the little bubble move down, meaning this person has seen it, has read it, didn't even acknowledge it.
No.
That's okay. This person has seen it. That's all I need to know. That's all that matters.
Yes. And that's okay because these people that are, I think whoever did it knows exactly what they're doing and did it on purpose.
A bot fake page? I doubt it.
I wouldn't think so. No, I think it's somebody that somewhere along the way decided, oh, yeah, this one's got some viewers. I think I'll just take it over.
Yeah. So that tells me we have made the big time, folks.
We've done something right.
Right.
You know,
So
I was always told if you don't have haters, you didn't stand up for anything in your life.
and we've had to stand up for a lot of things over the last few years.
We have. And that's okay because that means our circle is exactly what we want it to be and
Yep.
not people we kiss their rear.
More like drive a piece of wood with a spike on it into the rear.
Yeah, I'm not much on placating people. So, if I give you a compliment or I say it's because you deserved it, not because I'm kissing your rear for any reason.
Right. Uh, in other news, if you, I'm sure most people have found out about this, but the Conjuring House, the state has pulled its business license.
They would not allow her to renew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They,
Here's the funny thing behind that. You can still book a tour. I went on the page. You can still book a tour. You can still give her your money.
once, you know, it is very well documented what's been going on with this lady, the text messages that she has been sending to all of these people. They've been showing these text messages. They are documenting it. It is for everyone to see. Everything is public. Um, she has said so many very disturbing things on her own page, and even on the page that was created for the Conjuring House before she took it over, which Facebook got rid of it. Um, which honestly is sad because that page had a really good following.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. And
yeah,
it's the house that everybody wants to see. It's not her. So,
right. So then, I haven't been able to confirm this, but there is a rumor going around that she is trying to rebrand the house under a different name
she did.
and get a license under that name, which I'm pretty sure if the state of Rhode Island, if they're smart, they're already following this thing and are already aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to be fooled by this. But
Yes, Ed.
yeah, uh, but still, in any case, the entire situation involving the Conjuring House, is especially considering the reputation that it had been gaining over the last 10, 15 years. Uh, these last 7 months has really tarnished it so bad.
It's unreal. And it's sad. I hate that because the Conjuring House and its history. I don't care what's in it, what's not in it. The history itself,
Oh yeah,
it's amazing. Somebody just asked to join things, and I don't know that name.
Asked to join things.
Uh huh. And I don't know the name, but it went away before I could click on it to see the profile.
Oh, I see it.
Okay.
Jensen
Yeah, that one.
OSB.
Yep.
Uh,
I usually look at the profile before I'll accept.
yeah, I'm looking at it right now. There's only one thing on it. Uh,
With being hacked, I don't know about all that.
Three mutual friends. Zach is one of them. Sean's one of them.
Zach is one of them.
Yeah, Zach is a friend of whoever this person is.
Let me ask him because he usually knows who it is.
Okay. But yeah, there's three mutual friends for me: Zach, Sean, and Ronald Enright. But there's only one thing on the profile, at least that I can see: a reflection for today, meditation for the day, and today I remember. Okay. Well, according to this, Ed, uh, this person joined Facebook 15 years ago, is in 23 common groups, and in 257 total groups. And that's the problem with the way that people are able to lock their profiles and block a whole bunch of stuff. You Some people fix it to where you can't see anything unless you accept their friend request, and then you can see everything.
He says no. He doesn't know who it is.
He doesn't.
No.
Okay. Uh, I'll just go ahead and decline it.
He needs to stop accepting friends' requests like that. Usually they're porn stars that or porn people that try to friend request him.
I used to get that quite often, and then all of a sudden it stopped.
I laugh at him. Go ahead and accept it. Maybe you'll have some fun. Shit.
Uh, Jensen OSB Ed. I will text you the name.
Yeah, I can't imagine who that would be. It's not a partner of ours in the business. It's not, I don't know.
Right. So there's that. The whole thing with the Conjuring House, and then there's other things going on out there. I try not to pay attention to this stuff because honestly, it's all bullshit. That's all it is.
It is. Wow.
Uh, I see other people making references to other types of drama, but not really saying anything about it. They're being vague. Uh,
Luckily, I don't know what that is, so I'm okay.
yeah. And the thing is, I've unfriended a lot of people, and it's not just for no reason, because they're doing something that I don't want to see. So, adios.
Yeah. I know some of the drama. I mean, we all know sometimes drama is internal. Sometimes, it has nothing to do with the general public. Somebody pissed somebody off. That's their own problem. They can deal with it. But The ones I get involved in are the ones that everybody else is at risk. I mean, there's been two I've been involved with other than my own, and I don't put that out there for the world, but one is where there was a pedophile in the field, which no, we are not children, most of us that are going out, but what if there's an event and there is children, and how big of a line is there to cross between pedophilia and rape?
Yeah.
Not willing to take that chance. We just don't need that.
What was really bad a couple of years ago, we found out that somebody that we had on the 13th Dimension, who talked a really big and a really good game, turned out he was one of these people. Um, and before I even really had a chance to look into anything, he was already gone.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah. So
Good riddance.
yeah.
Hi, Mark.
And the reason I wasn't able to really look into anything because I think that particular incident happened while I was still in the hospital.
I think the start of it did,
Yeah.
or when it came out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was not in on that interview. Scott and Tim were.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't anywhere near that either. Thank goodness.
Um, Otherwise, when it comes to when it comes to issues and things like that, it's just best to handle it internally. No need to go public. It doesn't help to go public. It just makes the situation worse.
Yep. The only time it's okay to go public is when somebody else is at risk. And in this situation, many are at risk, and it's not good.
Yeah. So Carl here is saying that they represent us on Roku and are soon going to be on Fire Stick and Apple TV, which is good. They're doing
That is
some things.
awesome.
Yeah, they are doing some big things, and they have been working a long time on all of this too.
Yeah. And that's just it. See, we have a lot of people doing huge things that are still able to have conversations with those of us that are, the small people, and and not belittle people. I don't understand, because all we ever do is support people. That's,
Yeah,
you need help with what you're doing, fine, stand on my shoulders, someday it'll be our turn. That's perfectly fine, let's go.
yeah, Ed, I already denied it.
Yeah, that looked like a mess.
Yeah,
I'm going through my Facebook here. The only time that you can delete pictures, apparently, is if you're on the computer. Well, I'm never on the computer on my Facebook. So I'm going through and deleting pictures that I forgot existed, and I would much rather they didn't exist. So now they do not exist.
one of those. I'm so glad they didn't have cell phones back in the '80s.
No, this is Jan gets so mad at me because through my divorce, I started deleting pictures, deleting everything.
Hmm.
Once I'm divorced, I'm gone. I'm done. There is no reason for any of this.
Hi, Sean.
And she says, "Well, it's." Hi, Sean. She says, "Well, it's your past, though." That's exactly it. It's my past, and it's gone. No, ma'am. If there's no kids involved, There is no reason to have it.
Carl, we we tried this Roku thing once. It did not end well. That was actually that was actually one of the catalysts of the Things Network being born the way that it was.
That was our drama. Yes, it was.
Yeah,
But that stemmed from greedy people.
it did. It did.
It wasn't the actual, Roku itself. It stemmed from greedy people.
Yeah, I was the one that did all the work for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep, we did some work. All of us did something. And turned out it was so that all of us could take the rap when it all went bad.
mm-hmm. Yep, sure did.
I think I got the worst of it because I was the one taking the money.
I was the one that was doing all of the computer work, all of the uploads and everything. It
All the
took
time consuming stuff.
Yeah, it took approximately 1 hour to upload each show. And if I remember right, I got it up to about 350 shows.
Yeah, yep.
So it looks like Mark here is kind of new to this. He just started his little Facebook group back in May, the Swanton, Ohio Paranormal Discussion Group. He's up to 720 people
Awesome.
and no drama.
Not yet, Mark. It will start, and you'll know how to nip it in the bud immediately.
Okay, and Mike, I am accepting your friend request. Carl, right now I'm not looking to get on Roku, not just yet. I do know eventually I would like to explore that option, but right now I just got too many things going on for me to worry about another thing.
I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, our lives got crazy busy,
It did,
which is not a bad thing. I don't guess it means we're doing things, but
yeah, and especially with just the two of us.
we are doing things.
Yeah.
I don't
Uh,
know what we're doing, but we're doing them
and it sounds like that Swanton, Ohio, was west of Toledo.
since 1883.
Uh,
Okay,
like you may not be far from me at all.
that sounds like a cowboy town. Is it?
Uh, directions. Holy cow! Mark is only an hour and 22 minutes away from me.
See, you never know the connections you make.
I know. I know. So he's west of Toledo, Ohio. So not quite a cowboy town, but
Okay. Sounded like a cowboy town. I
it's
like
got
cowboy
the name of
towns.
one. That's for sure. Oh, Swatucky. So so the way it sounds like he's got a bunch of hillbillies there.
Hey, I'm all for hillbillies. That I have no problem with.
You know,
I can speak that language.
I just read a book called The West, and it was about the Wild West. Um, Talked about Billy the Kid, Pat Garrett, uh, Butch Cassidy's Sundance Kid, Wild Bill, um, William Cody, it talked about the state of Texas actually being its own country for about 10 years before they
Mhm.
joined the Union.
I could have swore they were getting ready to do that again.
Mark, I am in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
He don't want to admit it, but he's in Hillbilly Town.
No, over here it's really quiet around here, but when you get into Fort Wayne, see, I'm actually in New Haven. It's pretty quiet here, but in Fort Wayne, busy, busy.
Yeah, it's this is a bigger town than I want to be in, but we're here.
That's why I like it in New Haven because New Haven population is actually about 20,000, whereas Fort Wayne is 200,000. Carl, that is all you ever do is just laser stuff. But he does some pretty good work.
Do you think Pat really shot Billy, or did? I don't know. I like to think Billy got away with it.
I'm actually planning on doing a short story about that particular thing. Um, I kind of got the premise in my head. I had I was thinking about that when I was reading that whole section there about Billy the Kid and Pat. Um, yeah, I like stories like that. Uh,
So many of them.
Bell Mansion. So I have been to the Bell Mansion a couple times. I've only investigated it once. Problem was it was a private or it was a public investigation where anybody and everybody can come up off the street. And that was when I went in there thinking there wasn't going to be many people. Well, there were, and there were children involved that, well, didn't know what they were doing,
Uh huh.
which ended up giving me a headache that night. Um, yeah.
Couldn't imagine.
Well, when you have a REM pod, when you're doing a quiet EVP session, and every now and then something will go off on like the K2 or the REM pod, and then this little girl comes in carrying one of those circular REM pods. It was going off the entire time.
Mm hmm.
High pitched squeal. That's what gave me the headache.
Yeah, I can't use a REM pod with Zach
Yeah.
because of that.
And I'm the same way with spirit boxes too. I cannot. I hate those.
Yep. I don't know. I think anybody, and this is controversial, and it's perfectly fine for everybody to have their own opinion. We all know opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. But I think everybody should try at least a couple times, go in and don't use anything. Maybe, maybe like the baby monitor, something like that, that is not loud, or a motion light, something like that. But I think everybody should go in by themselves, or not by themselves, but like without equipment, and see what you feel. See what you feel. See what you get. See if any names come to you. See if anything comes to you, and then check. Of course, this would have to be something that's not well known, because if you know the history, then that ruins it. But see if anything collaborates with what you got and then what it was, what the history really is. And you might be surprised how much you can do on your own. All those bells and whistles are pretty much for the cameras. That's what they're for. And to kind of, check and balance yourself, but I don't think all that. They're fun to play with. Yeah, they are. I don't think all that's necessary every time.
A lot lately, I've been trying to take a more minimalistic approach to some of these investigations because, to be perfectly honest, it gets tiring carrying around all the stuff that I've got. Adrian has seen it.
Simple flashlight. Absolutely, Mark. I believe it.
Yeah.
And that's for your safety so you don't fall down the damn steps. But yes, those little flashlights, you know, people are doing it more for the camera. And I understand we're trying to get it out there for other people to see, to understand that it's there. But I don't know. I think, and I was the same way when I first started. Give me all the equipment. I spent thousands. I was an idiot. And it got me absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. So, yes, I have all my equipment still. And I'll use it for checks and balances. I'll use it for new teams so that they can see what's going on. But no, my house is plenty. I don't need any more. My house is absolutely.
Yeah, she never has to leave the house if she wants to have a paranormal experience.
Nope.
She doesn't even need to leave her second floor to get something.
Nope. And the funny thing is, the longer you're in a place, and I don't know how many people, this is just me. The longer you're in a place, the less communication you get. It's like, or maybe you're just so used to it at that point that it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're hearing or seeing because I don't.
So I'm looking up this little town here that Mark is living in.
Hmm.
Uh, it is a really small town. It doesn't even have a Walmart there.
Hell yeah. It's my kind of town.
I like small towns like that.
I do too.
He doesn't. He doesn't have. Well, okay. Yeah. He is right next to 80.
Mm.
I was about to say he's not next to any major highways, but no, he's right on the highway.
4,100 people.
That's even better.
Well, it is and it isn't because then everybody knows your business. If you don't know what you're doing, I promise you can ask someone else and they know exactly what you're doing. Whether it's true or not, they know what you're doing.
Well, the thing is, I like take my dad for example. He watches all of these old shows. I don't know what channel it is, but it shows a lot of Andy Griffin shows.
Mm-hmm.
So in the town of Mayberry, I would love to be in a town like Mayberry.
Yep, you got the town drunk,
Look
but
at
there
that.
you only have the one, so that's great.
Yeah. And he volunteers to go into the jail cell. He drinks and he goes right to the jail. Okay, there's your cell. Goes right on in there, shuts it himself, takes a nap.
And lets himself back out.
Yeah. Yeah, they hang the key right there next to him so that he can let himself out when he's ready to go.
Yep. And there was a time people could be trusted. There was a time, not everybody, there's always bad people, but this kind of behavior we got going on right now is absolutely not accepted. And people would whoop your damn ass and you wouldn't do that shit no more because it just was not accepted. Socially not accepted. Now everything is socially accepted. I don't care what it is. It's accepted. Let them do their thing. Yeah, well.
Sean, Nick is resting. He's back home. Went back home on Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah, he went back home on Tuesday, and he is taking a week off of everything. I don't think he's even getting on his phone.
Oh, I'm sure he's on his phone.
But yeah, he's taking a break, which he needs it. All of us have been yelling at him about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
And if they don't figure out what's causing the blood pressure issue, because blood pressure will cause a brain bleed. So they got to get that blood pressure under control. Then they can work on, other things.
yeah,
Hopefully, taking them off the meds will help.
and if blood pressure does not get under control, then that could lead to a stroke.
Oh, yeah.
See, I was 18 years old when I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, and the doctor told me that I was at stroke level when we found it.
Yeah, Sean, I did notice you hadn't been on for a while.
And we have Grizzly here with us.
Chris?
Yeah, he's
Hey,
watching us right now.
I can't see anything, but hello.
He's maybe he's not on Facebook. No, he is on Facebook. Yeah, he was off of Facebook for the longest time, and then finally, a couple weeks ago, he was able to start streaming the shows on it again.
Oh, did he get banned?
He doesn't know what was going on. He just couldn't get on it. So he just stayed on YouTube for a while.
Oh, that reminds me. I'll have to get the details because this just happened. But I think I told you our son Free is no longer wrestling. Um,
No.
yeah, he's not. Some things happened after the championship, and he just backed out. He said, "I'm done." So he has now got a YouTube channel, which his editing is amazing. But he's got a YouTube channel now where it's he sent us a one of the things he did that was showing his friends Japanese food and having them try it and getting their reaction.
Oh boy.
And I have not gotten to watch it yet, but I hear it's pretty amazing.
Seeing the reactions alone would get him a lot of viewers.
Right? And just showing the food. Thank you, honey. Showing the food itself would get him a lot.
And speaking of food, she just got some.
I did. It's a salad.
That's what he made tonight?
No, he made spaghetti and meatballs, but
Oh.
salad's the only thing I damn well need. I don't need no spaghetti and meatballs. No, that's not saying I ain't gonna eat it, but
Yeah, I could probably eat a salad or two myself.
I we've been making shakes in the morning, which have been turned out pretty good. Like the strawberry, and he does the 3 berry blend. It's like antioxidant blend.
What company are you getting them through?
I make them. I get the frozen fruit from
Yeah.
like Walmart and put them in a blender and just with because he can't do milk, so he doesn't like almond milk, so it's cashew milk. So yeah.
Okay. I know Scott Smith has something. I think it's called Monster Blood.
I have seen, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he says that it works crazy on him.
Don't trust the peppermint globs, sir. I haven't heard of that, Robert.
Uh, I have no idea what he's talking about.
Of course, I don't talk to my son about the food very often. The funny thing that he was telling me, which I think is pretty cool, is they have like a little in restaurants, some restaurants, they have like a little river in front of you. There's a table and then there's a little river there. And the food just kind of floats down that little river and you just grab yours when it's there. Wasabi, I love wasabi.
One thing that I really now I don't know if this is Japanese or Chinese food, but the one thing that I really enjoy is the orange chicken. I think it's Japanese,
I think you're right.
but
I know.
I
I
really
found
enjoy
it
the
so
orange chicken.
strange in Japan. They don't, which, all those little people, all of them, Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, it's all seafood. So they're all skinny little, well, most of them are skinny little people. Japanese tend to be a little heavier than the rest of them, but I'm like, okay, I cannot eat fish 24/7. You can forget that. Can't do it. I can eat lobster. I can eat all that good stuff, but
That's one thing I've never had, but would love to try sometime. Lobster. I have heard that it is very good.
it 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 really is like one of those things like caviar. You either like it or you don't. I don't like caviar. You can forget it.
I don't even
But
want to try caviar.
oh, you got to try it once just to know.
Yeah.
But I
I'm
tried it.
okay. I'm okay with not knowing.
I was like 10 years old. My parents were doctors, so they were having a party and caviar on crackers, and I thought I was big. No, no, I'm okay. I still don't. I still remember that taste, and I still don't want it. But um, there's other things which are shark. There's not a lot I haven't tried, and if I haven't tried it, I will try it. I have no problem with that. But I they all eat fish and seaweed, which I cannot do seaweed very well. It's okay on the little rice. It's fine. I'm okay with that. But sushi,
Oh, um, Mark, the casino that is in Toledo. Um, so first of all, how many casinos do you have there? Because right now there is a controversial movement going on here in Fort Wayne or here in New Haven. Is that somebody's trying to bring a casino here from Toledo? Uh, I don't remember the name of it, but right now we got this thing called All In Casino. Um, they're trying to bring it in, and there's a lot of people here, myself included. I don't really want a casino here in New Haven either. Because I've been to Reno many times. I've been to Vegas many times. I've seen the people that basically live. Hollywood Casino. Maybe it's not the one I'm thinking of. Um, I've seen people live at at the slot machines. It's no, literally they do,
no, thank you.
and they go into these desperate modes so that they can keep gambling. No, we don't need that here.
Most of the time, now I don't know how it works anywhere else, but like Oklahoma, um, it's all you have to be Indian to run the casinos or the smoke shops or whatever.
I don't know.
Yay! The car is completely paid off. Done. This is a title with no lien on it. Yay!
Ace.
Yeah, I am
Just
so.
found this out live on Supernatural Talk, where we apparently talk about everything but the paranormal. Well, no, I guess we did talk about paranormal today. Uh,
Yes, so over it.
Mike, I think every casino has to advertise help for people who get addicted,
Right.
but how often people actually call for help if they get addicted, I really don't know.
I mean, that I think that would be as strong of an addiction as anything else
It is.
because it's that, oh my gosh, I could win that $1 million or I could lose everything and not eat, you know?
Yeah, I don't gamble. Um, when I go to Reno, when I go to Vegas, it's for my bowling tournament,
Hmm.
and I stay at these casinos because well, you get a cheaper price. Really, get a
it was
cheaper price.
it was funny. My When I met my dad, I'm adopted, so I met my real family. And they took me to the casino, Kansas City. And my grandpa hands me $100. He couldn't go with us. Hands me $100 and says, "Here, this is for, you to have fun." I was a 22-year-old struggling mom. I put $10 in the slot, took him back the $90 and said, "I can't do it. This is as much as my electric bill. I can't do it." And I'm just not a gambler. I just, now, 5, $10, okay. Now I can, $5, $10, I can go in and win something, okay. If I win, I'll probably put it back in the slots. But I'm not, if I don't have that 10, 15 to do it, I'm not doing it. And I'm not spending any more than that to do it.
Okay, I just looked up. I just looked up the casino. It's not in Ohio. It's actually in southern Indiana. It's in Ohio County, Indiana. Um, Full House Resorts. And Carl, no, we are not back on StreamYard. We are on EV Mux, and it is working so much better. I think this program here will actually end up being the one that I get on the yearly prescription subscription, not prescription.
um, Oklahoma has way too many casinos. Yeah, they do. They're posting it. Telephone numbers you can call for gambling addictions. Yeah,
I
yeah.
am
My son lives in Oklahoma. He's from the Cherokee and Shawnee Eastern Shawnee tribe.
I am seeing more casinos on my travels these last couple of years than I ever have. There is a huge casino just outside of Salamanca, New York, which is where the Wildwood Sanitarium is at. There is a very large casino there. Um, I see several casinos on 80. Um, where are they? I know there's one in Iowa. I want to say there's one in Illinois. Yeah, I'm seeing more casinos. Prescribe your yearly supernatural talk now.
I'm telling you.
I do know that Indiana does have quite a few casinos. There's one in Anderson. There's one in Shipshewana, uh, Michigan City, I think. Uh, yes,
Mhm.
I do know that Indiana does have quite a few casinos here. Um,
I want to go where there's that all you can eat lobster. That's what I want to do. I don't care about the gambling.
yeah. I just take advantage of the hotel prices,
Mm-hmm.
and and that's why I stay at the South Point Casino there in Vegas, because that's where the bowling alley is at. So I can, just like what I did this year. I parked my car. As soon as I got to the casino, unloaded. I did not go back to the car until the day it was time to leave. Haunted casinos. Hmm. How long ago was this, Joe?
Yeah, I can't imagine it being much different than a hotel. Haunting a hotel. I know that's where my aunts are going to be, is in a damn casino. Toledo's casino doesn't have a hotel.
There are some that don't. And if you look at some of the original casinos that started Vegas, they didn't have hotels either.
Mm-hmm.
It was just you go in, you gamble, and you leave. And now you got all of these skyscrapers, basically. I remember reading something about that they are in the process of or getting ready to build what could end up being the largest hotel and casino in Vegas.
You know, Vegas is a crazy place by itself. Rose, what are you doing?
Oh, it is absolutely insane. Just trying to drive anywhere there in Vegas is bad. That's why when I get to that casino there, I try to make sure that I fill up my car before I go, so that I don't have to go anywhere until it is time to go.
Right.
Um, Now in Reno, I don't have that luxury. I have to drive from. Yeah, technically, I can walk. It's only a block and a half, but damn, all them people pretending to be homeless out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to deal with it.
I'll tell you what, here, we run that community outreach. So, okay. But we see so many of those people that climb into their Teslas once they're done, panhandling. And it makes you not want to help anybody. But in the park behind our house, a lot of homeless do stay there. And yes, they're drug addicts. That's not my place to judge them. It's just not. Am I going to give them money to go get it? Absolutely not. But I will feed them. If we have leftovers, we'll take it over and just set it on the picnic tables. If we have extra blankets, things like that, take it out there and just lay it on the tables. I don't know who fights over them or what happens, but last night Zach wouldn't let me get out of the car, and I didn't see it. We came in after dark, and we're getting ready to pull the car in the back, and he said, "Don't get out," because I usually go out and get the gate. He said, "Don't get out." Why? He said, "There's a guy hitting a post out here." I'm like, "What?" And I'm looking the whole time he's got the door open. I'm looking to see who's. I never saw anybody. He was on the other side of us. But he was tweaking pretty bad. Couldn't sit still. He's sitting on the log, just sitting, doing this. And I'm like, okay. But, regardless of what their issues are, I'm not going to give them money for drugs, but I will help where I can. We don't know their situation, but that makes it real hard to help people when they do that.
Well, there's been several people outed here in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they go to these corners and then people do research on them and find out they're not really homeless or whatever.
Right.
One was found to be a sex offender.
Mm.
He's actually on the register, and he was one of four people who, I swear, they had a schedule of rotating corners.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Um, the usuals have not been out there the last couple of years, so I don't know if they went somewhere else or if they stopped.
I don't know. I encourage everybody to search their neighborhood for pedophiles and sex offenders because the last two places I've lived in the last 15 years, they're covered. Absolutely covered all around you. I don't understand it. They are just absolutely everywhere.
They got to go somewhere.
Huh. Mm-hmm.
They got to go somewhere.
But why does there have to be so many of them?
They don't know how to keep it in their pants.
Mm-mm. No. And I do look. I look at their charges. When they jumped out of the car to pee on the side of the road. Okay, that's ridiculous. Now, when they've gotten caught with a minor, that's a whole different story.
Yeah. Uh, Probably taboo and difficult to get native approval. Uh, I don't really know how that would work because I know that the natives have their own belief systems. Um, and lots of times that does kind of come into play with what we do, especially if what we're doing is around or on Indian burial grounds. Because I do know that there was this one place that Scott and I went to a couple times, is right next to an Indian burial ground, and this one of my friends that got me back into all of this, she took a cigarette and laid it right in the center of the road,
Mm-hmm.
as an offering,
Yep.
and left it there.
Yep.
So we left.
Yeah. I mean, that's like my son. What you'll find is the Native Americans are as much into the paranormal as we are, but it's everyday life for them. My son sees. I never talked to him about this. I wasn't in the paranormal when he was a kid. He sees. They actually hold what they call. Actually, I'm not even going to say it because I don't know the exact name of what it is, but it's kind of like the Day of the Dead. They'll hold like a seance, and this tribe we're helping right now, the Rosebud tribe. They'll hold like a little seance,
I
and they'll black out the windows of a house, and they'll call their ancestors in. The difference is they call their ancestors in, and she was telling me, you'll hear pounding on the wall, um, all kinds of different things. But they do the same things. They have fires, which my son had for his brother that passed away a few years ago. They'll light a fire for 24 hours, and it's people can come say goodbye, whatever, the body's there, and the fire is meant to stay lit so that the deceased can go around, say their goodbyes, do whatever they do, make amends, and find their way back. And then they bury them.
I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find what you're talking about. Native American Heritage Month,
Um,
Dia de los Muertos, but
yeah,
that's Day of the Dead.
hmm Look up Sioux tribe calling their ancestors.
What is it?
The Sioux tribe calling their ancestors is what it was. They were calling their ancestors. They do that yearly. Jill, they are. And the thing with those, they don't do it once a year. Like their ancestors are a part of their daily life. This lady was telling me her mom, she'll go out and have coffee every morning outside. Now, mind you, they are poor. Most of them don't have running water, electricity. But with her coffee, she'll go outside and she will take part of her coffee and part of her breakfast and offer it to the ancestors.
Okay, so in the Lakota language,
Mm-hmm.
spirit or relatives is Winyan, Winyay. I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing that right. They also have something called the Seven Council Fires, representing the seven major Sioux tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's try.
Yeah, she said they like blacken out the windows, everything, no light, and everybody sits around the wall on the ground.
Ghost dance.
I think that's something different.
You know, I read something about ghost dance in that Western book
Mm.
that I was talking about. Something about a ghost dance. There was a lot of talk about the Indians, the wars that the several Indians had, and then there was another chapter in there that talked about something happened and the Indians were punished. So the U.S. actually took what was then referred to as Indian Territory, and
Hmm.
they turned that into the state of Oklahoma, and that was where they had the, the Great Rush, where they plotted out like 50,000 land plots
Hmm.
in the state of Oklahoma, and over the course of 17 days, they had a rush where people stood behind a line, fired off a gun, and everybody took off running. And they state their claim at where where this plot was marked. Um, that was actually a part part of the plot of Far and Away, Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. My ex has. my ex-husband, my child's father, is buried in a cemetery that's his family cemetery. It's an old Indian cemetery in Oklahoma, and which I helped take care of my son's dad's dad in our home. And then, once I left his dad, we stayed friends. Um, Co-parented better than most people. But when when the dad passed away, my son called me and said, dad's gone. And it took me 2 years to get back to Oklahoma to see where he was buried. And it was after my stepson died, I went there. And my son was taking care of the cemetery. And it's way out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody'd even know it was there. But he'd go out there and mow the grass and different things. And Jan and I went out there. Jan's looking. Of course, Jan and I are barefooted because I don't like shoes, period. And we're running around barefooted out there at the cemetery. And I'm like, okay, well, I know who that is. And, we're walking around. Jan looks up and says, do you see that? No, I don't. My son said, oh, you saw that? Broad daylight. It's like 5 o'clock at night in the summer. And he said, yeah, that's out here with me all the time. It's a protector. It's an elemental. He deals with that damn elemental every time he goes out there and has no problem with it. I'm like, my son's like, yeah, it's always out here. Okay. Most of us, he calls me his white mama. Most of us would be like, what the hell is that? And what just happened? He didn't blink an eye. He's like, yeah, it's always out here. All right, dude. You got your world. I got mine.
I'm trying to find Day of the Dead is some people actually think that the Indians created that. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the Aztec, the indigenous Mexicans.
Yeah, and that's something. Hispanics are Indian. They really are. Let's see. They're just not American Indian. And that's just because we split the lands. Dancing with the Wolves. Some of this think Dancing with the Wolves would love submersing. Well, Jill, message me. I know more than I care to know. In New Mexico, I actually put an offering out because my land, I think my land was their land at one point. I mean, obviously, I'm sure it was. But I had somebody do remote viewing and they're like, there's this lady that turns into a snake. I'm like, there's snakes all over New Mexico. It's New Mexico, it's desert. But when we actually did an investigation on the land, there was an Indian tribe there. A little boy would always come. But they stayed on the other side of all it was a little wire between, that separated my 2 acres to the rest of the land. And I told him, I said, okay, I'll stay on this side. I won't touch your side. We were talking about buying the other side. And I was like, okay, we're going to leave that alone. That's yours. It was undeveloped. It was completely untouched. But we put offerings out. We got lots of video on that. But, and then talking to my son and being in that culture for 15 years, you learn a lot. And now being in the paranormal field, which I was not then, a lot of it is actually parallel. We call it different things, but it's very parallel. I think the most parallel would be we call it witchcraft. They call it one with the earth.
That came in loud and clear.
It sure did, and I'm wondering, Jesus.
Oh, somebody done something stupid.
No, I'm getting stupid political shit. Ah, I'm over it. I don't want to see no more.
Oh, we're going to be seeing this until February.
I'm afraid it's going to get worse at that point, but I'm just give us a break for a couple of months. Just stop. Just stop. Stop.
Nope, now is the time where everybody's going to complain about the results of the election and the selections that he's making for his cabinet people. And we're going to be hearing nothing but complaints until we get to the inauguration. And then we're going to be hearing
Mhm.
nothing but complaints about stuff that's being done during
Yep.
the first few days.
Yep.
It's never ending.
Yeah, it really isn't.
Yeah.
I'm over it. We can't change what happened. We all voted. We did our best. Outcome, whether we liked it or not, it's here. Shut the fuck up about it.
Yep. Pretty much. The stuff on my news feed has finally started going down on that. So some people actually are shutting up.
I think mine is, but if I see something political, I just scroll on past. Bye.
Yeah. Noel, this is the world we live in, folks.
It is, unfortunately.
If you don't like it, tough shit. Well,
Somebody posted something to the effect of, all right, so let's see all these celebrities moving out now that said they were going to. Well, some of them really are, but it's 8 years. It's at the most. I don't know if he's trying to redo it to where he can run another 2 terms, but 4 years right now. We're okay. We will survive. Holy shit.
no, it's gonna take a lot to change an amendment.
Right.
We we don't even have that many amendments.
No, no. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Oh, is it hot? Yeah.
Okay, list of amendments to the Constitution of the United States. There's only 27, with the last one going into effect in 1992,
Oh.
and that particular one was proposed in 1789.
Oh, Jill, that's funny. That's funny you said that. Jan's son, which most of y'all know, is just like my boy. And he called last night because Jan was going to get her man and bring him home. Her and the baby. I get a call from her teenage son. Hey, guess what I just saw? Mind you, they're next to the mountains in New Mexico. All Indian stuff. And he says, I just saw a UFO. I said, please explain to me what you're talking about. He said, I just saw these bunch of lights up there. I went to take the dog out and I seen them up there. And some of them were moving, some of them were sitting still, but they were moving in odd directions. And I'm like, I said, well, I would tell you to lock the doors, but it's not going to do a bit of good if that's what it is. So he says, I got my gun here too. And I said, okay. Well, you just lock those doors anyway, okay? It was adorable, but I do know a lot of people are seeing a lot more activity here recently, whether it is UFO, well, it's obviously UFO, but whether it's alien related or army related, I don't know.
I'm seeing a lot more reports online about it,
Uh-huh.
including on like MSN.
Yep.
I'm seeing more stuff on that. What really gets me is supposedly there is an underwater base just off the shore of Malibu.
I'm not surprised because I did see Project 2021, maybe even earlier. But Carlsbad Caverns, which is one of the biggest cave systems, was, and everybody talked about, underneath Walmart because there's always construction right there at Walmart. But talking about that being safe haven, and underneath or in Carlsbad Caverns was actually going to be government safe haven if anything happened to this, whether it was, tactical or whatever happened, nuclear war, whatever. They had it all set up there to where they could go in and live. I think there's a lot more of those than we know of
Mhm.
because the government thinks they're going to survive. Well, how are they going to survive without the animals? Need food.
Mark, the next time that this particular show is live will be in 2 weeks, Thursday night at 8 p.m. And when this show comes back, we'll have Nick back, and hopefully we'll have Eileen with us. But my next show is actually going to be tomorrow at 8 o'clock on 13th Dimension. I will have Hollywood stuntman Rick McCallum as my guest.
Oh,
Good friend.
wow.
Last yeah, he's been a good friend of mine for the last several years. He's been doing a good round of shows lately. He's been on Catherine Hobson shows. He's been on um,
Catherine Hobson is a fun host.
yes, he's been on with Denise and Ron on the Paranormal Pride. Yeah, he's
Mhm.
been doing a good number of shows, and I get him tomorrow.
And I'll be on next Friday with Jan and I, which we don't really do paranormal shows on our Friday shows. We do more real life stuff, dealing with real life.
And you will be on 12 o'clock my time.
10 o'clock my time, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So 12 o'clock my time.
Yeah.
Here on Thage Network, we got shows pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Numerous shows. People from the UK do their own shows in our afternoons. We got a night show just about every night. I have a wrestling show on Sunday afternoons.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Mark.
Apparently, he knows his hockey.
He does. The Hughes brothers are my babies.
Did you hear about the killing of the two brothers in
Mhm.
Canada not too long ago?
We heard it the night it happened. They had actually went home for their sister's wedding, and they were riding bikes. and a drunk driver got him. And come to find out, both the one of them already knew, but the other one, after his death, found out she's pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be hard.
Their team is not doing real well right now. But, it's got to be hard to be dealing with a death and go out there and do your best. These guys are really closer than you think. There's a video out there about these guys on, it was like a rookie video, and one of the seniors out there teaching them how to fight. And I laughed. I'm like, you do teach somebody how to fight. They have no business playing hockey. What they're teaching them is how to do it on skates, because that's a whole different. I've tried ice skating. You can forget it. I'll ice skate on my behind, because that's the only place I'm going to be. But, these guys, when they need to amp their team up, it's like wrestling. When they need to amp their team up, they'll go up there and go, you want to go? Yeah. So that both teams can actually play their best.
And a lot of teams, they feed on the energy of the fans too.
Absolutely. Yep. And we're actually signed up to have our little local team, which is not, nobody will ever hear of them, but our little local team that maybe someday will make it to one of these teams. One of the New Jersey Devils ex-players owns them. And we're signed up to where the kids, when they come in, we're a host home for them. So that ought to be fun when we get our kids.
See what happens.
Yep. Yeah, empty nest syndrome is a real thing. You end up with all kinds of kids.
He grew up on
Mid-70s. I knew nothing about hockey. Nothing until I met my husband. Nothing. And his rule when we first got together, before we even got together, if hockey's on, Zach is gone. That was his motto. It ain't happening. But
there's two things of hockey that I know of. One was, I want to say it was back in the 80s. Somebody actually had their jugular artery sliced.
there is still video of that out there. I
Yeah.
watched it. Oh, yeah. That's unreal.
And the guy survived.
Oh, the one I'm thinking of did not. He bled out right there on the ice.
No, the one that I heard about, he survived. And then the other one was, I think in the 90s. Oh, I can still see it clearly. This guy was really upset about something that the guy on the other team did. He just threw his gloves down and hit this guy head on with the helmet, broke the helmet, and did some damage to the guy.
Yep.
But yeah, he was that mad. He just smashed that helmet with his fist, and it knocked the other guy out.
Sounds like the helmet wasn't real great, because it should be made to take. I mean, ice is, in all reality, if you hit that ice, it's worse than concrete.
It might have just been the face guard that he hit. Maybe he hit it just right that it caused
Yeah.
that shielding, but it broke.
From what I understand, there's still only one player, I think. They've made mandatory helmets now. It's all mandatory. I think there's only one guy still playing grandfathered in with no helmet. But the thing is, they're not buckling those helmets. They're not doing a damn bit of good.
Well,
Right, Mark?
I don't get that reference.
Uh, there is so many players that have they have a history, and some of them. There's one you can look up, the worst fight, um, the worst hockey fight ever. Some of them are just crazy.
Isn't the movie Miracle about hockey?
I don't know.
Um, the Olympics, Canadian team, something like that. They came from way behind and somehow won. A Miracle on Ice or something like that.
Adam Johnson died after taking a skate blade to the neck during a game in the Elite Ice Hockey League. And then the decision to wear neck guards was made 3 months after. Sheffield in England. Well, that had nothing to do with that. Adam Johnson. Matt Petgrave was the one that hit Adam Johnson in the neck. But it was not intentional. I mean, it wasn't like he went out to go kill him.
The one I just looked it up. The one that I'm talking about, his name is Clint Malarchuk. During a game, Malarchuk was cut in the neck and blood gushed onto the ice. Was able to leave the ice on his own feet with help of his team's athletic trainer,
Wow.
but he still bled right there on the ice, uh, slicing his carotid artery and partially slicing his jugular vein,
Yep. Yep.
causing immediate massive blood loss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he still survived. That's the one I'm talking about. I did not know that there was another guy that had his neck sliced and died.
Adam Johnson, I believe, is what they said.
Okay.
I got to watch that video and I'm like, nope, I'm done. I love to watch the fights on the ice, especially these rookie kids, because they're like, some of them are still in high school.
That just
And
happened a year ago.
okay, that might not be the one. Let me ask him real quick. Mute this so I don't holler.
It says here Johnson was killed after having his neck cut by Matt Petgrave's uh, skate blade in an on ice collision, causing him to bleed out. And that was October 28, 2023. It was in Sheffield, England. So, yeah, I was not aware of that one.
He's going to look the one up for me that he had me see. It's in the minors, and he did end up living. This one that we're talking about, Adam Johnson's the only one I can see that died.
Yeah, the one that I'm talking about is Clint Malarchuk, and that was back in 1989.
Mm.
That's the one that I know about. I've known about this one here for several years.
It was Adam Johnson.
Adam Johnson, and he was in England.
Okay.
So,
all right.
But he was a former NHLer. So
okay. Yeah, that's the only one I knew of, and he had me watch that, and I'm like, this is not okay.
Yeah. But these are the risks when you play hockey.
Yeah, most of them get paid a lot. NHL gets paid quite a bit, just like football. But, you know, their bodies aren't going to last very long. Um, who was that? Our son, we're a very divided family. Our son likes, let me see, who was that? Um, he likes the New Jersey Devils because he was born there. And I'm not sure what other reason.
In New Jersey?
Yeah, Zach
How,
was born in New Jersey.
how did they end up in Colorado?
The whole family lived here. They were only stationed in New Jersey because they were military.
Oh, okay.
But we are so divided. I don't care. To me, I like the Devils because he does. That's about it. I don't get too involved. Our daughter-in-law likes the Ontario Maple Leafs. Don't ask me why. I don't know what happened there, but we love her anyway. Um, and then who is it that Oob likes, babe? Capitals. Washington Capitals.
What?
Nothing.
No, what?
I remembered who it was Oob liked.
No,
It's just the
Washington
Washington.
Capitals.
It's just the Capitals, yeah. So yeah, everybody's pretty divided on who likes what, but Ovechkin was like in his late 30s, early 40s when he quit. That's rare because your body gets beat up worse than football.
Do you guys have Netflix?
No.
Okay, so I have a really funny story here that I found out about. Um, all I ever saw on Facebook on, I think it was Saturday night when they had that Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight.
No, jeez.
Everybody predicted who's going to win, who's going to knock who out, and all of that. And I made a comment to one person: it doesn't matter who wins the fight; they already both won because between the two of them, they're getting $60 million for
Mhm.
that fight.
But the picture of Tyson in his little G string, priceless.
I thought that was fake at first.
Nope.
I Yeah, I thought that was fake at first, and then I saw the video, and I thought, "Oh shit, that actually happened. That happened on live TV."
I will give him kudos for his age. Nice ass. You can wear those things. You go for it, buddy.
So then the next day, no, that night, that night, I saw several people start posting. It was right before I went to bed. That was it. That was the fight.
Yeah.
There was nothing exciting about that. And I didn't know who won until the next day.
Yeah. I
My
didn't
friend
either.
didn't care.
Mm-mm.
Uh, and so many people complaining about how during that fight everything was buffering.
Yep.
This is what happens when you depend on live streaming, just like we're doing right now. These things buffer, they slow down. Um, and we've had that happen on this show.
No, but this was like nobody could see it. It was bad for
Yeah,
like an hour.
this was on Netflix, Jill.
Yep. It was
So,
bad.
so what I read was that Netflix had paid to be able to have X amount of viewership come in to watch
Mhm.
the show, but supposedly they didn't pay for the extra bandwidth for these people to be able to come in and watch the show.
Mm-mm.
Now Some guy in Florida is suing Netflix over this thing.
Why not? If they'll sue over hot McDonald's coffee and win, why wouldn't anybody want to sue?
Well, he actually said that he's hoping that he becomes a class action lawsuit. And if it becomes a class action lawsuit and they actually win, he may only get $13.
But he won.
Yeah. But
Good luck to him.
I don't even see any judge entertaining that. I don't see it. But you know what? I've been surprised. I've seen people sued for stupider things.
Breaking into somebody's house and falling through the roof while they're trying to break in and they get damages for breaking their leg.
That should never happen.
But it did.
Yeah. If you're breaking into my house and something happens to you, you know what? You knew the risk. That door was locked for your safety.
Yeah, you break into my house, you're lucky you broke your leg falling through the roof instead of me breaking your heart with my. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. Go ahead and try and sue me. See what happens. All right, folks. We are nearing the end of the show.
Oh, yeah,
Technically,
we are.
yeah, technically we still have 5 minutes, but uh,
Yeah, maybe we can get off before the other show actually comes on.
yeah, I don't think we've been able to do that in some time now.
No, because, a couple of us don't shut up.
Gee, I wonder who that is.
I would not know.
All right, folks. So we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Thank you so much for playing along with us. Remember, next week, this show will not be on. We will be having Thanksgiving, and we hope that you guys have a happy Thanksgiving and a safe one, too. Um, Snow is starting to fly, at least over here it did.
Yep.
Nick said it snowed in Chicago. So who knows what next week is going to bring, but more importantly, you got to be real careful on the day after. That's when everybody gets crazy.
People are going home.
No, I'm talking about all the shopping.
Oh,
All Black
my
Friday.
company is amazing. I have to say this. So I'm off on Fridays anyway, because I work 410s. And Black Friday, our company lets people get off for Black Friday. So I get Wednesday off because I already had Friday off. So equal time off, I get Wednesday off.
Oh wow, nice.
It's amazing that our company gives Black Friday off.
Wow, that's nice. My company would never do that.
Paid, mind you, paid.
Yeah, we'll get off early on. Well, this is back when I was actually still working for them, but we would get off early on Wednesday, but that was basically because we're finishing up production and we're cleaning and we don't have to worry about setting anything up. It's clean and get out.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yep.
decided, well, we need to do some extra cleaning here. We need to do some extra cleaning there. Do all this bullshit. I am so glad I don't have to mess with that. But I'm worried that I'm going to be forced to go back there next year.
I hope not.
I hope not either. I don't want to go back.
Mm-mm.
So, and they just went live. They went live early. Damn. I just got the notification. They went live early.
1 minute.
Yeah. Wait a minute. That's not them. That's Chris.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, Mark, message me. I'll buy you something nice on my day off.
All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Have a happy Thanksgiving next week. Be safe if you're going out there with the crazies on Black Friday. Um, Even more, be careful if it starts snowing again. And this show will be back in 2 weeks. We'll have Nick back. Hopefully, we'll have Eileen back as well, depending on what's going on with her job. Meanwhile, I will be back here tomorrow night at 8 Eastern with Rick McCallum for the 13th Dimension. And then Sunday afternoon with Donald on Marks on Wrestling. So, and then Adrian will be, oh, no, you'll be back in 2 weeks next week.
No, next Friday. We'll be back next Friday.
On Black Friday?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, everybody out there, you guys have a good night.
Good night, y'all.
Let's see.